How y'all doing out there in YouTube land? This is Stiletto and Juno coming at you from the Wild Wild West. There's my girl over here. Here she comes. Here she comes. That's my girl. What you doing, sweetie? We got a little video going on here. This is part two. Part two. Part two of the original goat aluminum scales that I got for the AD15. AD15. It's the AD15 Lite. AD15 Lite, people. The Japanese AUS-10A. Stainless steel. Ingot stainless steel. And it comes with, the kit comes with bearings too, skiff bearings. All right, sweetie. You let me do the assembly, or are you trying to jump up here? Huh? You want to come say hi real quick? Huh? Yes, my girl? You want to come say hi real quick, huh? Okay. There's Juno. She gets to say hi. I have parts on the table, so I'm sort of restraining her here a little bit because I don't want her to walk on the bearings or the springs or anything like that. Anyway, Juno's saying hi. That's my girl. All right, sweetie. Go ahead and get down now. All right. All right. And here we go. These are the parts. Remember what they looked like in part number one. All I did was buff them. I did not do any sanding or anything like that. I just used my handheld buffer. Went through all the different compounds. I started to put this one together already. Already got the pocket clips in there. See how the pocket clip connects right there. Absolutely love them. These are nice solid aluminum handle scales too. Nice thick aluminum handle scales. Let me see what the thickness is on them. Real quick for you guys. I'm absolutely digging this, people. After having these, it makes me want to get the titanium ones for one of my S35VN AD15s. The thickness on these is 5 millimeters thick. 4.99. That's what I'm getting. Hold on. There it says 5 millimeters. So these are nice thick. They're going to add a lot of strength to the actual knife. That's my opinion anyway. I think these would add a lot of strength to the knife. These already have the aluminum washers in them. I put the stainless steel washers in them. The kit comes with stainless steel washers and skiff bearings. Now we're all ready to go, so you can see how the stainless steel washers sit in there. And then the bearings are going to sit on top of that. All right, people, let's go ahead and put it together. Get the pivot here first. And it has a flat, and the flats go forward. Go forward on these scales, just like that. Put that down nice and flat. And you all know I like to put a little lube on my grease. I mean, a little lube on my grease. A little bit of lube on my bearings. A little bit of lube on my grease. Okay. I use Militech 1 lithium-based grease. And if you're wondering what happened to my finger, I was fidgeting with this knife. And it got me. And it got me, people. It got me. I really like this knife now. I really like this knife with this setup. Get a little bit more grease on that. All right. I got another rag here. I really like the way this one goes together. It's really pretty, very simple. Nothing complicated about it at all. I like to pack my grease on the springs. I like to really pack the grease really good inside the spring. You go ahead and set the spring in there with it sticking out partially at the end, and you just push it in. And make sure that piece is nice and seated. Wipe off any excess. And I put a little bit of drop of oil in here too. Let the oil get down in there. Now we're done with the lube. I don't think I put a drop of oil in here either yet. Hold on. Just a drop. Now we're done with the lube. Go ahead and do the final assembly. This already has the washer inside of it. Line up everything. Snap in place. That's in place all the way. Now with these screws, I like to put a little bit of lube on them, a little bit of blue lube, blue Loctite lube, blue Loctite, not lube. Just takes a little bit. All right, these are 10, we call it 10 millimeter. I mean T10. T10 screws. I like to screw them all the way in, and I screw them all the way back out. Just to make sure that that Loctite is nice and evenly spread all the way throughout the threads. Then I go all the way down until it's snug tight. Leave it like that, then come to the other one. Do the same thing, go all the way down. Now bring it all the way back out. Spread out that Loctite on the threads really nice. Now go all the way back down. Now go all the way snug. Now I back it off just a touch. Same thing with this one. Snug, back it off just a touch. And that's all you have to do. Now it should be perfectly centered. And ready to go, all lubed up and set up. And it's a beautiful knife, people. I really dig the OG Goat aluminum scales. I absolutely love them. As you saw in the first video, I have several knives that I've used OG Goat parts. I absolutely love them. If you can handle the wait periods for the parts, I highly recommend them. If you can't handle the wait period, then it may not be for you. Because the goats sleep a lot and they eat a lot. But they always let you know when stuff's coming, though. I absolutely love this one. And the AD15 has not been my favorite one from AD15 in the past. But now, with these original goat scales, I absolutely love it, people. I absolutely love it. Let's give it a little final polish. A little final buffing. All right. This one's done. This one is done, people. It's my new love. Absolutely love this one. Absolutely love my AD20S model too when I put the aluminum grips on it. That I carried that one straight for a year with the shark's foot blade. But this one has bitten me though a couple times fidgeting with it. It bit me once in this hand and once over here too a little bit, just a little bit. So I have to get used to using the scorpion lock. After using it though for a while though, I've gotten used to it because first when I first got scorpion lock knives, I got them just to collect because I love Andrew Demko stuff, and I didn't ever really carry them because I thought it was kind of an awkward lock to use. But this one with the bearings in it, with the skip bearings in it, it operates really smooth now. It's not like the other ones with the Teflon and phosphorus bronze bushings or washers. This one's different. It puts it like on another level to me. It's like a totally different knife now. If you haven't owned one before without the bearings in it, then you wouldn't understand what I'm saying. But if you own one with the bearings in it, and you get one of these kits from a original goat, I think the kit's like $80 or $90. You get this, you get the bearings, and you get the scales or the handles, and it makes your knife linerless. So you get rid of the liners. It weighed 5.9 ounces. And it's absolutely beautiful, people. Now, when you first get these, though, the scales aren't going to be polished like this, so they're going to be, just like raw aluminum. But it's not like raw aluminum, like it has like a bunch of grind lines in it or anything like that. It just needs to be polished. 5.9 ounces. And this is a very nice, sturdy and stocky, strong knife, a 3.8 millimeter, blade stock, basically what they used to call 4 millimeter all-time cold steel. And I absolutely love it, people. Absolutely love it. It's an awesome blade. Absolutely love it. Highly recommend it. And this pattern right here is called Shark's Tooth. The two patterns I tend to like the best so far out of all the patterns I've tried so far is Shark's Tooth and OG1. Original Goat number 1, OG1, and Shark's Tooth. Those are my two favorite patterns so far. Now the other patterns I've tried out were the smooth ones, the smooth and nuts, and also the pineapple pattern. Their scales are like they're awesome. These scales are really awesome, people. I mean, they're like super high quality. Everything lines up perfectly. The blade centering is perfect. And in terms of an inexpensive folder, because you can get these for like $50 right now. I think at Midway right now, I think I saw them going for like $49.95 or $49.99 or something like that. This exact same folder with the Japanese AUS 10A stainless steel. This lock bar is heat treated aluminum, 6061 aluminum. The lock bar, this piece right here, the Scorpion lock. It's actually 6061 heat treated aluminum. The handles are aluminum. The handles, the frame, whatever you want to call it, because that's what it becomes, because there's no liners on this. It's all linerless. And the fitment is perfect. The fitment is perfect, people. The only thing that gave me a little bit of issues was the pocket clip, because I accidentally over tightened the pocket clip and it started spinning on me. And I figured that out, that they have like the brass inserts, the threaded brass inserts that you're screwing into, that are, I think they're probably pressed into the handles. And so, they will come loose. It doesn't mean that you stripped it out. It just means that you're spinning the whole thing. And so what you have to do is that I had to take a chopstick and just wedge it in there and just hold down the brass piece while I was screwing in the screws and get them tight. And once I did that, I just left it alone. Once I got it tight, I'm not gonna take it off. I'm gonna just totally just leave that on there forever. That's sort of a pain in the butt with the way the brass things were in there, because mine, I think two of them popped loose. Two of them popped loose. It was this one and this one, I think, popped loose. But anyway, they're all in there tight now, though. This is totally tight. And that's the only thing that I saw in this whole setup that was sort of like a little bit of a flaw. That I would recommend that they do something a little, maybe do something better than that. Because I'm pretty sure, because as you guys know, I don't torque things down. I just lightly tighten things down. And if I knocked it loose, that means there's going to be a lot of people I'm going to be knocking them loose and complaining about that. That doesn't have nothing to do with the function of the knife, though. If you can figure out how, that it's just that piece spinning in there, you can figure out some way to wedge it or whatever, where you can go ahead and tighten down your screws. You can still tighten down your pocket clips and stuff. Maybe and the way that this is made, you don't need to take the pocket clip off again if you're going to service the knife, because the pocket clip has nothing to do with the what do you call it? It doesn't screw into the backspacer or anything. It just screws into the scale. So it has nothing to do with the function of the knife or the structure of the knife. Absolutely love it, people. Absolutely love it. Highly recommend it. Look at the action on this. It's nice. This knife is going to become one of my favorites now. This is the first AD15 that I really like. Makes me want to get the titanium ones and set up on my S35 VM ones, my higher end ones with the G10 handle scales. But this really makes this knife really, takes it from a mediocre, just like a run-of-the-mill, another cold steel Griv-Ex handled knife into something special. Because the only thing that made this knife unspecial was the Griv-Ex handles, to tell you the truth. Because the rest of the knife is just like the high-end one, except for the blade steel. And the Japanese U.S.A is a good steel. It's not, as good as S35N, that's true. But it's still a good steel. Very good steel. I've been using it for a while now, and I absolutely love it. I don't have no issues with. I didn't really care for AUS8A because you always had to resharpen it, but Japanese AUS10A is not like that. It's much better. This is a beautiful knife, people. Absolutely love it. And they got the titanium scales and aluminum scales, and you can also get them coated in different colors too. I tend to like the ones that are uncoated, so then if they get scratched or bumped or whatever, you can just buff it out or whatever, buff out the scratch or the bump, but you don't have to worry about refinishing anything. This is going to be an everyday knife for me. Everyday user. Absolutely love it. This is going to be my AD15. It's going in my rotation drawer. Absolutely love this one, people. I've had this knife for a long time, never used it. I thought it was just going to be a collector because I just got it because I just wanted to get the Lite model. I already had the more high-end models, the G10 models. And so I was just going to collect it. But now I want to use it. It's going to be a user. Absolutely love it. And the best way to open this up for me is a rear finger flick. That's the way I can do it the best. And to close it, you just split the you just lift the scorpion lock. I like the way the reverse grip feels. One thing I like about this type of knife lock is that as long as you're holding it like this knife's not going to come undone, because this knife lock is basically, with your grip strength, makes it pretty much an invincible lock. Now, if you're holding it way back here or something like that, and then you get some sort of whack or something, it might pop this out. I can see that happening, but as long as you're holding it like the way the knife handle's made, this knife's going to stay locked. And the reverse grip on this one really feels like you're putting pressure on the scorpion lock. So, there's no way that's going to come in lock. This is a very good, very well-made knife. And with these handle scales, it takes it to the next level. Probably makes it a lot more like a real Demco custom. As opposed to being like a factory knife. These scales are made in the United States. These are all, the original goat parts are all USA made. Absolutely love it, people. And one thing about the scorpion lock, me myself, I can use it with either hand. So that's cool. Absolutely love it. And I'm not a left-handed person, people. So if you see me able to open up something with my left hand, the way I can with my right hand, that means it's easy to open. I can do a lot of difficult things with my right hand that my left hand has problems with, but I can open this one up with my left or right hand. Just sort of like the axis, not the axis lock, but the shark lock. Same thing with that one. This one's a little bit, takes a little bit more finger strength, and takes a little bit more paying attention to what you're doing, because the way I got cut on this one was that I was folding it and my finger was sitting a little bit over into the path of the blade. And so when I closed it, y'all can guess what happened. Because this blade drops fast now. It doesn't drop slow, it drops really fast. So, you know, because with the bearings, it's just floating on the bearings. It's just really it doesn't feel like it's even touching anything. It just feels like the blade's just flinging back and forth. So once you figure out how to use the scorpion lock, you know, to lift it, to close it, makes this one really nice. I really like the way it looks too. I want this one in a Tonto blade too. I like it now. I really like this one. It's going in my rotation, people. Well, that's about all I got for you today. Got part 1 and part 2 of the original goat modifications for the AD15. And next up will be, I don't know whichever ones that, you know, the parts get here first, but I also have parts for the Engage 3.5 inch Engage, Atlas lock Engage, and parts on the order for that you know they should be fulfilling my order whenever the parts come available for the AD10, my AD10 Lite, the Tonto AD10 Lite I bought just to modify with these parts. Absolutely love it, people. Makes this knife really nice. Absolutely love it. All right, people. That's it for today. Peace out. Stiletto.